Hey Zach Tech Nation, welcome to my best movies of the year list, but this will be the honorable mentions. What does that mean? From 25 to 11. There's so many great films that I saw this year that I'm not even going to mention here out of the 117 that I saw, but I'm going to give you 5 honorable mentions for the honorable mentions, and then I'm going to jump into number 25. So let's get into the first honorable mention. First movie on my honorable mentions list is Kill Bakusan, a Korean action film that's on Netflix, one of my favorite action movies of the year. A assassin that can predict multiple versions of action that she's about to go through and see how she can take advantage of it. And it's deeper than that. You would think that'll be the whole movie, but there's a nice familiar story, her trying to get out of the mafia that she's in, and it's just a really great story, really great world building. It reminded me of John Wick 1, and I really enjoyed it. A Good Person, a film that is very, very underrated to me, one of the most underrated films of the year, starring Florence Pugh, Morgan Freeman. You would think this movie will be talked about with two of the biggest actors in the world right now, one of the older ones that's a GOAT, one that's on her way to becoming a GOAT. This movie just wrecked me emotionally. I cried multiple times. She plays a drug addict who lost everything, and she's trying to make her way back on the other side, and Morgan Freeman is kind of helping her, but kind of hate her at the same time. It's a really great film. Definitely check it out. The most underrated comedy of the year, and that's Joyride. I really wanted to put this in my top 10, but there's so many movies that I love a little bit more than this, but this movie is so good. It's amazing how funny this is. 4 friends go on a road trip into Japan to figure out what main character's real family and her real ethnicity and all these different things that happen, and just a lot of raunchy hijinks pursue.
Because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things. To drive into a car.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my
Right after that, this movie is absolutely hilarious, and I can't wait to watch it again. Another great comedy is No Hard Feelings. Wow, man, this year was really great when it came to comedies, and a lot of these movies I'm talking about back to back are comedies, and Jennifer Lawrence killed it. She was an absolute star in this film. She was super hilarious, but the guy who played the kid, or not kid, but the young adult that she was romancing was matching her beat for beat. I just really had a great time for this, and that beach scene. Whew. Another underrated comedy is Rye Lane. Love this. It's on Hulu. It's a black rom-com, which you don't really get that much, that coming out of the UK. Just the way that the movie has this weird sensibility. It feels really down to earth, but really fantastical at the same time. I really like the chemistry between the two leads, and I thought that the movie was really sweet, really funny, and just a great time. I wish I got to see this in the theaters. Now let's get into my top 25. Number 25 is gonna be Strays. Oh my god, this movie was so funny. Who would have thought giving dogs voices and really tell how they feel about us as humans would be so damn hilarious. I had such a great time watching these movies. The voice acting was hilarious. Jamie Foxx was amazing. Will Ferrell did a great job as the main character. The dogs were lovable. The lip syncing was really good. This movie is absolutely gross when it comes to the comedy, but I had so much fun, and this is one of the better endings that I've seen in a movie this year, that they fulfilled what the trailer told us that they were going to fulfill in the most hilarious way possible, and I absolutely love this film. Can't wait to watch it again. I think you should check it out. If you love old school, gross comedies mixed with kind of like a homeward bound kind of feel, you'll definitely dig straight. One of the most talked about horror films from this year, and it's called Talk to Me, made by a couple YouTubers who just had a great idea, pitched to A24, and brought it to life. And I thought this movie was fantastic. I had such a chilling time watching this film. I remember bringing one of my best friends who doesn't watch a lot of horror movies or movies in general, and he just was astounded by how layered this film is, and it has so many different layers, talking about social anxiety, social pressures, trying to catch a new high, and how these kids are doing drugs but attaching a possession theme on it and adding that horror. A24 strives in doing films that you think are more conventional and has been done before, and adding a layer there that adds a social commentary that is much needed. Love Talk to Me. All the hype that it gets is well deserved, and it's kind of getting underrated now because people are kind of trying to push it down the list of how great it is because how much people loved it. Coming at number 23, I think this is probably the most controversial film that I have on the list. This is some people's worst film of the year. This is some people's best film of the year. This is some people really confused if they even like the film or not, and that's Skinamarink. One of the best horror films that I've personally seen in a long time, because it played on a lot of the fears that I had as a child. Being locked in a house, not knowing where your parents are, the doors and the windows start disappearing, your the person that was with you starts disappearing, and it's just total pitch black darkness. Yes, the way the film is set up and very repetitive, just staring at the wall, staring at the TV, can be really, really, I guess, boring. But if you turn your lights off, put your headphones on, and get really immersed in what they're trying to do here, it can be really, really creepy, because it's the sound effects, it's what's the things that you don't see. And that's when a horror movie does its best, is when it scares you with the things that you do not see. Not a lot of jump scares. There are some in here that got me, but it's not a lot of jump scares. It's more the thought of what was happening and putting your mind into this little kid that's living the worst day of his life. Coming at number 22 is one of the many historical dramas / biopics that we've gotten this year, and that's Blackberry. This is like a dramedy, I guess you could say, about the rise and fall of a Blackberry. Everyone had a Blackberry back in the day. It was the most popular smartphone until the iPhone came and kind of just took it out of the market, and that's addressed in the film. And I absolutely love this film. It started off a little rocky, but as it kept going, I just got really into the performances. Both leads are really, really funny, but do the dramatic parts really well, and they grow so much during the film, and all the details and everything like that, and the way it's displayed in the film is so digestible but so fun and interesting. I don't know how they did this, but it was just a great thing, like watching these two guys as they grow, as the Blackberry company is growing, and seeing all the details about it, and then seeing how they just blew up completely in their face because of ego and lack of camaraderie. And it's kind of a commentary on how companies can go from this really great place to work to when they're trying to be too ambitious, they lose what kept their best workers. Coming at number 21 is Landscape with an Invisible Hand, a movie that I don't see in a lot of people's list at all, or mentioned or talked about. Probably this would be the most underrated film of the year. I really, really dig this a lot. It's about a hopefully distant future where aliens come to Earth and completely take our culture, change our culture, and become our rulers. They are the government, they are the schools. It's kind of a commentary on AI and how soon they will be running our schools, our McDonald's, and everything will be through them, and it will take away a lot of the jobs and the artistry from people. We don't need teachers if the AI can just teach you. You don't need art because you're going to be needed to be doing all the nitty gritty dirty work, or the AI can just create the artificial art themselves. It was that, but then it was a great story about humanity, how we treat each other, how we use social media in a very unique way. The aliens were so gross and weird. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But it just added to the quirkiness of the film. Some of the plot points might have not gone where I needed to go, but overall this was a great experience that I think everyone should check this film out. Coming at number 20 is How to Blow Up a Pipeline. It's crazy to say that on YouTube. Please don't flag me. It's the name of the title of the movie. It's based off a book. It's an adaptation about a couple people who are kind of, I guess, eco-terrorists, and it's a heist film, but it's not them stealing something, it's them blowing up a pipeline, obviously based on the title. And this is like Ocean's 11, but more grounded, realistic, not stylized, not like in suits or anything. Just a couple people who are frustrated with what's going on with oil and the spillage in certain lands, and how so many things is going on in the world that's just going unnoticed, and they know that people are trying the right way to get things done, but they realize someone has to go the destructive route for them to get really listened to. And the performances are really good. The way the movie starts, it gets so intense. The more and more it gets deeper into the film, and the flashbacks fleshing out the character really make you really interested in what's going on and surprises you. This was a really big surprise for me. I heard about the film way early in the year. I even had a chance to see it in theaters, but did not, but I'm glad I got to check it out. Coming at number 19 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Well, it may be a Part 1. I'm not sure it's going to be a Part 1 anymore, because unfortunately this got drowned out by coming out right after Indiana Jones and then being right before Oppenheimer, and people just did not go check this movie out, which is a shame. This should be $1 billion movie. The action set pieces in this film are phenomenal. Some of the best action we've gotten in a movie ever, and the Mission Impossible series is known for doing that. I watched and reviewed all those films this year for the first time. Absolutely loved every single one of them. 2 is like but it's still not even a bad movie, and this may not be the best entry in the franchise, but it's definitely top 3, and it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely go watch it, especially that third act set piece. The Man Called Otto, a film that came out right in the beginning of the year, had a limited release in 2022, then officially released in the United States in 2023, so it counts for me. And this this one really got me in the feels. Oh my god. Not tear streaming, but my eyes welling up. Tom Hanks did a phenomenal job in this film. I'm surprised that he didn't get nominated for some awards. It was so good, so touching. An old grumpy, grinchy old guy who just wants to follow all the rules and doesn't understand society the way it is in terms of why they don't follow certain things or do things in a certain way and know certain information, how everyone's idiots, and his ice cold heart gets broken by this immigrant family that lives across from him that just moved around and will not stop bothering him, and not realizing they're stopping his attempts to unalive himself. It's such a touching story. It's such a well-made film, well acted. I just really love this film. This is one of those films that I wish didn't end. I wanted to just live with these characters, and I just love this film. And I think that my number 17 is just like that as well, and that is The Holdovers. Wow, great film. So hyped up, and I was like, oh man, is it gonna live up to the hype? And Jesus, yes it did. I love The Holdovers. It was so good. A Christmas classic. Another grumpy old grinchy man who loves to follow certain rules and things like that, similar to A Man Called Otto, but played by Paul Giamatti in this phenomenal performance. It's one of the best of the year. He definitely should get a lead actor performance from this, but I think his name is Dominic Tessa. His first time acting in a major release, and he definitely killed it. I would have not known this was his first acting job. He did such an amazing job playing this character that just has so much anger in him because of the way his family treats him and the other ones around him, and the way the film is filmed. If you could have told me that this movie was from the 70s, and I would have believed you, because that's the feeling it has. This is the movie I'll point to when they say they don't make movies like them no more, because they do. They still make movies like how you remember. The Holdovers is definitely one of them. Coming at number 16 is Wonka. Holy crap. You can see the review for this movie on my channel, but just to say, I went into this movie with very low expectations, folding my arms. I'm like, why is my boy Timothy Chalamet doing this goofy stuff?
Look how they massacred my boy.
And then 20 minutes in, I was like, oh, I'm in. I love this. This is so fun. I even like the singing, and I'm not a musical guy. And wow, this movie was so good. I love this. This is, to me, another Christmas classic, even though it's not very Christmas based, but it has all the seasonings for a Christmas film. It's sweet, it's sugary, it has some melancholy in there, but it's a story about found family rising above, and the origin story of Wonka, showing where he got his love from for making chocolate and how he started his factory. It's so good. It elevates the Gene Wilder films. There's hints to it being connected to Gene Wilder films, but nothing too direct where they have to behold to that. And I just really enjoyed this film. Sometimes you just have to watch a sugary, sweet film, and this is it. Coming at number 15 is American Fiction, one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. I saw this just a couple weeks ago, and I love this film. This movie played on all my sensibilities. It's about Jeffrey Wright, who definitely should get nominated for an award for his performances here. He was amazing, and he is a book writer. He just wants people to read his books. He thinks he has great ideas in his books, but his career is just not have taken off. He has low book sales, and then Issa Rae's character comes in, and she does a book that he deems is trash, is low-hanging fruit. It enhances stereotypes when people believe in black people.
It's trash.
And he decides to write his own version of that, trying to make fun of it, but then it blows and everybody loves it. Everybody wants to give him money and make a movie out of it, and he doesn't know how to handle that because he hates the work that he did, but is now finally his opportunity to blow up. So it's a really great dynamic there, where while they're also doing that, we get a black family dynamic that we don't really get to see in theatrical releases, which I thought was really sweet. And those two storylines, the juxtaposition really works really well. If you not have a chance to watch American Fiction, it's still in theaters, go check it out. Probably my favorite horror movie of the year, and that's my number 14 movie, and that's No One Will Save You. This took me by surprise. I saw the trailer, and I like Caitlin Dever a lot. Everything I've seen her in, she does a great job, and this is probably her best performance ever. Physicality, the fact that she had almost no dialogue in the film at all, and she wasn't speaking, and she was almost like a mute, but it was done purposely, and just the way she emoted and the way she acted, and the way they did these really regular great aliens, and how just the intensity just picked up, and you don't really know what's going on until the end. And a lot of people don't like the ending, but I thought the ending was quirky and fun, and I actually enjoyed it, and it made sense for what they were setting up throughout the film. An extra layer of grief and trauma and letting go was just there, and it slowly was unpacked, and I just really dug this film a lot. Coming at number 13 is Godzilla -1. The best Godzilla movie ever made, one of the best blockbusters of the year, and this movie was so good. Is the story super original? No, but it doesn't need to be. Not every story has to catch you by surprise. Not every story has to be the most original thing you ever seen in your life. It just has to be executed well, and this movie is executed so well. A post-war Japan, they're -1 after the nuclear bomb drops, trying to get themselves settled and clear up all the damage and find the dead, and here comes Godzilla to put them even further into the minus. I guess I should say that they were at 0, and then Godzilla put them in -1. And the movie's not really about Godzilla, which is funny. It's about the humans, which the American versions do that too, but the way they did it here, you get so attached to the humans in this movie. You don't think to be like, oh my god, where's Godzilla? I just want to see him destroy things. You're like, no, Godzilla, don't show up. I want these people to survive. I love them. Yeah, it was so good. The third act was so great. The movie was just fantastic through and through, and I can't wait for these same creators to do another one. Coming at number 12 is The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Finally got to say that title straight through without giggling or messing it up, because I love this film. This is probably my biggest surprise of the year. I did not think this film was going to be so good. I really loved everything about it, to be honest. Tom Blyth is now on my radar completely. I really enjoyed his performance as President Snow, or he's not President Snow yet, and this is a prequel. Rachel Zegler was fantastic. That girl can sing, and she did a great job acting. I love them showing the 10th Hunger Games. I love the fact that the Hunger Games was going to get canceled, and because of Snow, it became the spectacle that we see in the Jennifer Lawrence trilogy. I just loved everything about this film. Yes, is it a bit long in the tooth? Absolutely, but I was in it. I didn't want it to end. When I felt like it was ending, I was like, no, don't end. I'm just enjoying my time here, enjoying the characters, enjoying the action. My only gripe with the film is that some of the side characters kind of could have been fleshed out for the Hunger Games itself, for us to be more invested in them, but that means the movie would have been longer, and people don't like long movies, but Hunger Games is back, baby. And the number 1 on this list, but the number 11 on my list overall, is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Love this movie. Didn't think they were going to make me cry over a raccoon, a squirrel, a rabbit, and a walrus, but damn, James Gunn did. And I hope that he brings these sensibilities over to the DC universe in some of these films, because he did a great job telling this dark story, creating one of the best comic book villains in live action that we've ever gotten, bringing years of storytelling with the Guardians characters to a great conclusion, while still leaving things open-ended for them to continue on to the MCU. This is one of the best entries in the MCU, one of the funniest, one of the most action-packed, one of the best looking, one of the most heartfelt ones, and ended up being probably the best trilogy in the MCU, only because Guardians 1 is stronger than Captain America: First Avenger. Love this movie, watched it 3 times already, and I can't wait to watch it again. So guys, that's my top 25 for the year. Well, 25 to 11. We're not up there for 10. Be on the lookout for my top 10 best movies of the year list. I'm really excited to tell you the 10 movies that moved me personally and that I absolutely love. Guys, let me know what your lists are. What are your 11 through 25? And if you want to give me your 25 in total, drop all those lists down below. Tell me if there's a movie on here you're like, wait, where's this? Where's this movie? Where's that movie? Why is it not on the list? Why is this one so high? Here, what's going on? Ask all those questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'm excited to talk about this and celebrate this amazing 2023 of films that we had with you guys. And you know what you can do? If you like my list or this video, hit that like button. If you want to join the Zach Attack Nation, attack the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified when my top 10 best movie lists come and my future reviews. And you can watch more content right now.